Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's snowing out. Did we see that? Well, at least in Hillsborough, it's snowing out. It's snowing. Oh my goodness. I think it is. It's the first snow of the year. I don't think it's going to stick though. I don't think the snow's going to stick. But it's definitely snowing. So it's a good day to work from home. Rain and snow. We love working from home in the rain and the snow. All right. Let's get this going. Hey, Steve. Oh. My name is allisonmireau, broker, owner of Real Connect Realty in Staten Island, New York, with a dual license in New Jersey. And every single Friday, I go live on Instagram to talk all things Staten Island homeowners or Staten Island homeowners moving to Jersey. I answer questions that I get throughout the week. Although this week we don't have any questions because we had that big glitch on Instagram and I lost all my questions. So I'm kind of just, what I did for today is I printed out my FAQs for on my simultaneously buying and selling guide, okay? So I specialize in you think that's what, so don't say that word, Steve, because I really thought, well, I'm not going to say it. I was talking to somebody right before the glitch happened on my phone, and she sent me a video. She's not from Jersey or New York. She sent me a video of what was going on here, and I wrote back to her. I'm like, I know, and I said the D word, and when I said the D word, our chat just blew up. And then I thought somebody was hacking me. I changed my password. And then all of a sudden it was like, you are locked out of Instagram messages. And I was like, holy shit. This is where I like talk to people and lead generate, and some people cold call, and some people, and I'm like, oh my God, I use Instagram for everything. And yeah, so I was having a big mini meltdown. But yeah. So if you are new here or you're watching this on the replay, I use Instagram for everything. I'm always on here. This is the only app that you can get me. If you write on like my Facebook, my YouTube, it's probably my team. But on here, on this app, oh, is this crooked? On Instagram, it is always me. I have it. I think I'm on here more than my messenger, honestly. So what I did for today was I printed out the FAQs in my simultaneously buying and selling guide. So I specialize in marketing. I specialize in selling homes. I've been doing it for over 12 years, and now I own the company. I especially specialize because I did it myself, and it really sucked when I did it myself. I moved from Staten Island to New Jersey, and then I built my dream home here. I moved twice inside of Jersey. As close as we are, it's very different. It's very different. The rules in New York are different than Jersey. They do things differently on both sides. And when you move from one area to another area that's completely different, there are a lot of things you have to know. So that's why I specialize in both. And most of my clientele, actually all of my clientele, is selling homes or selling and then buying in New Jersey. It's just what I do. So if anybody has any questions along the way, shoot them at me. If not, I'm just going to go over all my FAQs today, and we're going to have a great live. I did write a book. I know, I'm so cool. I'm not that cool. Actually, I am. If anybody wants one of these, let me know. And then if you are thinking of selling your home, I have my prep guide. Do you sell property in Asbury? Yes, I do sell property in Asbury Park. I work in, obviously, Staten Island, because that's where I was born and raised and built my business there. I moved to Hillsborough, New Jersey. So being that from Staten Island, you normally don't move to Somerset County. Very far and few between. I have sold homes here, probably about 6 or 7 in this area. So I am a little unique because I'll work in 3 areas. I will work in Somerset County because I live here. I'll work in Middlesex County, and I will work in Monmouth County. Monmouth County, though, I haven't been to Monmouth County to Ocean because all of my clients, 75% of my clients are already coming from Staten Island. And that's kind of the bracket where they want to go. So yes, Asbury Park does fit into that. I actually have a listing right now. It's an off-market $5 million penthouse in Long Branch. Absolutely stunning. So you're kind of you're right by there. So yes, I do sell homes in all 3. If you ever want to reach out to me, DM, message me. I'm here, and I'm so much fun. And I love marketing. Okay, so again, questions. Let's go over it. If you have them, ask me. I will gladly answer. The number one question I get asked, and this is not a template, ladies and gentlemen. These are the actual questions I get asked. will I be homeless? No, you will not be homeless if you're selling and buying, okay? I know it's like the biggest, scariest thing. I did it, I know. But we're gonna put a plan in place before that. So I'm gonna say, hey, for instance, right now you're gonna see me tomorrow go live in a new property. I'm just gonna talk about this property because it's like, there's 100 different scenarios, but this is what we're doing for this property. They are selling their property. They already are in contract with a new property. They are actually selling in Staten Island and buying in Staten Island, okay? So the timelines add up, but what if they aren't able to close on their property in time? They have places to go. So they all have already told me, hey, I can go to my mom's house. I can go to the husband's mom's house. So they have a place to go. So one of your options will be, do you have a place to go? If you don't have a place to go and you want to know more options, well, you could do a rent back. A rent back is when you pay the new homeowner monthly, it's kind of like you're leasing your house back until you either A, close on your property in New Jersey or wherever you're going, or B, find a home. I have gotten it both ways. I have got rent backs for free for my sellers, and I have got like discounted rent. It's all going to depend on how much and how bad somebody wants your house. And then you basically are the one in control. We love being in control, okay? So now if it's a longer term, like say you're building something and you want to sell your house, right? If you're building something or you just really don't know where you want to go yet, but you're like, hey Al, I want to sell my house. I want to have the cash in hand ready to go, but I don't want to feel pressured to buy something, right? I don't want to just buy it to buy it. Well, then there is options like, for instance, I say it all the time, the Avenue. The Avenue has several locations in New Jersey. The reason why I talk about the Avenue, I'm not a sponsor of it, none of that, but I was going to actually go there when I was building this house. That was one of our options. We were actually almost ready to sign the paperwork to move into the Avenue, but we ended up we ended up getting an apartment that was on top of my husband's lawnmower shop. So, that's an option for everybody as well. You can do short-term rentals. The Avenue is a short-term rental. So again, you do have options. You will not be homeless. And we're going to know these options before we even put the house on the market. So then when they start coming in, people start saying, I want to buy your house. How long do you want a closing date? Blah, blah, blah. We're going to say in the contract, hey, we need 60 days. Hey, we need 90 days. Hey, we want a longer closing. All of these things. So good planning helps. Yes, it does. Good planning helps eliminate stress. If anybody who has not been on my lives before and doesn't know Steve is a really good buddy of mine. He is an agent in Texas. So he knows all of this. He does the same routine. He's actually my Texas go-to. So if anybody ever wants to move to Texas or talk about with somebody who knows Texas real estate, Steve right here, Steve Ladard. I'm actually going to put him in the comment section when I make the caption and all that fun stuff. So you'll be able to get his information. But yes, planning makes it so much less stressful. So no, you will not be homeless. Listen, you can move in with me. We can kick Teddy out. We have to keep Mila and we have to keep Bailey, but Teddy can go. You know what I mean? It's fine. Just don't tell him. Okay, what happens if my house doesn't sell? Now, if your house doesn't sell, I have never, and I'm not saying this to be cocky, I have never had a house that didn't sell if it was priced correctly and marketed the right way. Actually, and let's take it a step further, this entire year, I had one house expire, and the only reason that house expired is because we had to take it off the market for family issues. Other than that, I have never had a house that doesn't sell. We do a lot of planning beforehand to know, hey, this is what your house is going to go for. We can list it this way, this way, this way. This is what the market is going to be doing. This is the potential people bringing in, right? So we don't just throw it on the MLS and call it a day. Now, if your house is worth $1 million and you're like, Allison, I want to sell it for $1.5 million, I'm not going to be the best person for you. But why? Because it's not going to sell, and I'm not going to just tell you, oh my goodness, that's a great number. You know what? You're smarter than me. You know this market, even though I do real estate, and all the other houses sold for $1 million. Because then that's what's going to happen. Your house is not going to sell, right? Remember, if you are also contingent, meaning you have to sell your property to move to New Jersey, if your house doesn't sell, you're not moving anywhere, right? You're not where you're going. You're not going anywhere because your money's in your house. Just like 90% of everybody. If I moved right now, I would have to sell my house to move because my money's in my house, right? The equity's in my house. And that's a lot of people. So if that's you, don't say, oh, I feel like that's not. No, that's like 95% of people. So I don't ever want somebody to feel like, oh, my money's in my, like every 95% of people's monies are in their house. That your house is like your bank account. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people have to do that. So if your house will sell as long as it's done the right way. And that's something we go over in the beginning. My listing appointments are probably like, I don't know. I was at somebody's house for 2 hours yesterday, but it's not just a listing appointment. We do the listing and then we strategic market. Like, I don't just go there and show them, blah. No, like we discuss. I want to know every single thing about you, about your plan, so then we can put a plan together right then and there. Like, our plan is already in place, and tomorrow we're doing pictures and videos, right? And as of right now, they're putting stuff in pods. I don't know how because it's snowing, but there's a plan for everything. It's all about the prep work. It's all about the prep work, the marketing, to alleviate a lot of the stress, right? And every situation is different, so every situation is gonna be a little different. There is no cut and dry and right and wrong answers. So that's why I'm just kind of talking about the deal about that I'm doing tomorrow, just because, it's right fresh in my brain. Good morning, my gorgeous friend. How are you? This is Macy, everybody. She is also a real estate agent. It's so nice when realtors like get along with each other. Like, I love collaboration, and we don't get a lot of that, okay? So, just saying. Okay. What, the third question that I get asked, and these are they in order? They're like in no specific order, but these are, again, the questions that I personally get asked. What if someone offers a contingency on my house? We're going to avoid it like the freaking plague. We are going to avoid it so badly because you're going to have a contingency going into Jersey. And think of like I have 2 books. My book and this manifestation book, right? Okay. This is your property in Jersey. I'm going to do this. I wish I had it on the book. They're over there. Oh. House in Jersey, right? Ooh. Oh, you can't see. House in Jersey. So your Staten Island house. The person who's buying your Staten Island house, right? You have to buy this house right here. This elbow is my house. You're buying this house. They're buying your house so you can buy this house. If this deal falls apart, everything collapses. Everything. So we avoid contingencies like the plague. Even though we do them in Jersey, we want to avoid them at all costs. Now I'm actually having a problem with another house I listed in Staten Island because we had a full price offer over asking cash. It's an over $2 million property. And we went through inspections. We did everything. And they pulled back at last minute. My next up offers are 2 offers that are great offers, except for they're both contingent. So contingent could mean that they're in contracts and they're waiting to close, or contingent could mean their house isn't even on the market yet. And in my case, their house is already on the market yet. So yeah, you're giving me asking price of $2.6 million, but guess what? Your house isn't for sale. So I can't accept your offer knowing that your house isn't even on the market, because guess what? That really is not an offer. That's a wish. That's a want and a wish. Okay? And that's the difference between contingencies and not contingencies. And if we take that contingency for your house and you're going to another house, either you're moving up in Staten Island or off of Staten Island, we're going to need them to have a solid offer, because we're going to be up against people who don't have contingencies. I don't like when my screen goes off because it just makes it look darker. Okay. We're going to be up against other people and without contingencies, right? And I'm really good at that, so I'm not worried. But if we could avoid it, that's a killer. If we have a contingency and you're like going into Jersey, it's a lot tougher, because you could be going up against a clean deal. And then that clean deal is the obvious choice. If we have one contingency and I can show contracts and I could show proof and I could show all of this stuff, like, hey, they're ready, here's their money, here's our money, we're closing, we're got the ball rolling, our inspections are done, we don't have a C of O, and we don't have to go for a C of O, we don't have to go for a safety search, we don't have to do any of that. We are done. Because in New York, once we get into contract and the appraisal's done and the title is clear, we are done. It's opposite in Jersey. They start doing all of that stuff in contract. So if I can bring them a clean deal, even with a contingency, we will win. If they have a contingency, the likelihood is a lot slimmer. Have I got it done? Sure. Have I not got it done? Absolutely. Like, it's been both ways in that situation. So, we avoid them like the plague. Okay. Another question I get asked is, what if I don't pick the right area in Jersey? What if I've got asked this question so many different ways, but that's just basically the question. I can't tell you I know everything about Jersey because I don't. And if I told you I did, I'd be lying to you, right? But I do know certain areas, and I do know, if you tell me your wants and needs, I can tell you areas perfect for you. I also have I have team members in New Jersey as we are growing our team. I have somebody now in Old Bridge. I have somebody on the other side. I won't go into Ocean County, rarely, unless it's like a personal, unless I have to, but you won't see me in Atlantic City. You won't see me Bergen County. That's just not my area. So I kind of stay in the areas that I know. And remember, I took like a year off when I was building, and I learned Jersey. I didn't take the year off. I just, I learned Jersey. Realtor here, Annapolis, MD. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much. I have to follow you. Can you message me? Can I follow you from here? Do I follow? Maybe. I love connecting with other agents on here across, like nationwide. Hi guys, hi, thank you so much. Okay, so typically if you're leaving Staten Island, you know where you're going, right? You're not just picking an area. I had one couple who wasn't sure, and it was not good, because now you're going south, you're going central, you're going here, all of these areas, and you can't compare all of the air, you can't compare houses, you can't compare price points, you can't compare any of that. You have to do what's right for you. What I will tell you is the people that are retiring and the people that are not traveling back to New York City, they'll go further out. For instance, those people move to Warren County. So I'll do a little bit of Warren County because Somerset County and Warren County are sisters. It's right here, right? It's the places further out I won't do. But that's why I'm a little unique in the areas I do, but I also only specialize I specialize with Staten Island. Staten Island homeowners or Staten Island people wanting to come into Jersey. I'm the only option for that, right? So, duh. Okay, so what if I don't pick the right area? We went through that. We're going to go over the areas. I also have videos, books, local guides for a lot of the areas. For the areas that I do, I have. And if there's an area you want to go to, and I don't have a guide for it, and I don't know about it, I'm going to say, hey, I don't know about it, but let's talk to XYZ. And that's how we will find out that area, or maybe I'm not the best fit for you, and I will give you to somebody who is the best fit for you, and I will be able to, help along the way, right? But I wouldn't be the one basically showing you the properties, because, let's face it, if you're buying a home by Atlantic City, I'm not the one for you, right? But I could still do the same amount of work on the back end. It's just the areas I wouldn't know. Okay. How will the timelines match up? Nobody ever, not nobody ever. People sometimes can't understand how they line up. Sometimes they just do. We just work. So people don't see the back ends. I'm on the phones, talking to every single Tom, Dick, and Harry, making sure that we line up. If I have to drive somewhere to pick a check, drive somewhere to do this, go over there. There has been times that I have drove an hour and a half out to get a piece of paper, to bring it an hour and a half back, just to make sure we were scheduled for that close, because the mortgage contingency takes 3 days. Takes 3 business days after a clear to close to actually close, right? So there's a lot of things on the back end that your team, meaning me, your mortgage broker, your loan officer, your team, my entire team does to do everything. And the other agents, right? The other agent on the other side of the deal, whether it's in Staten Island, if it's a buyer's agent, in New Jersey, if it's a listing agent, they are just as important as your agent. And if everybody works together, it can get done. It's when people start seeing whose BALSs are bigger and this problem and that problem. And when people start forgetting, like, hey, we're all in this together, that's when things blow up, right? When people start getting angry at things that even though something's happening that's not in their control, they'll start getting angry about it. And that's when things get blown up. When people lie, right? That's when things gets blown up. But if everybody can just remember that we are one team, the buyer's agent, the listing agent, buyer, the seller, the loan officer, the title, like the attorney, we are all one team. And what I will say on here, since I have 2 licenses, we're going to want to get an attorney that has both. The less people in our thing is better. So if you're selling your home in Staten Island and you're looking in New Jersey, I'm your agent for both of those transactions, right? That takes one more person out of the thing. Now we have a listing agent, right? Because if I'm a listing agent and we're buying here, I'm going to be your buyer's agent in New Jersey, which means we have a listing. So there's 2 people. Our attorney let me tell you something. Our attorney is going to be dual licensed in both states. And our loan officer is going to know both states because there's differences. And I have found that out, that loan officers in New Jersey don't always know things in New York. So we want somebody who is, and I have those people, right? That's my team. We need people that know all of the rules, all of the everything about everything, right? So again, that is my team. So that is how we match them up. Because you got one kick butt team, okay? Okay. Somebody asked, but one of the questions in here is property taxes and cost of living. Why are they so much more in Jersey? They just are. I mean, there's nothing I could do about your taxes in Jersey because they are higher, right? So we're going to have to account for that. Say you can buy a house for, I don't know, $1.3 million in Staten Island because our taxes are $10,000, $12,000, right? In New Jersey, your $1.3 million budget probably just went down to $1.1 million, right? Because your taxes, if you're buying a $1.3 million house, you're probably sitting in a 4,000 square foot house, right? Ish. Probably a colonial, probably a custom build like mine. Your taxes aren't going to be $12,000. Not in any of the places that I work. Not in Monmouth County, not in Somerset County, not in Middlesex County. You're sitting in a $550,000 or $600,000 house in Old Bridge. Your taxes are 10, 11 grand. So it's all going to depend on your price point and all different variables, what your taxes are going to be. Don't quote me right now. I'm going to put in I forget, is it 2.79% they could raise, or I forget the number right now, but the taxes in Jersey are higher. They're higher. Nothing I can do about that, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm sorry. Okay, what if I can't sell my house before I need to move? That's where we have the options. So that's kind of like a repetitive one I put in here. Listen, if you have to sell your house to move, then you're going to have those rent back options. You're going to have short-term rentals, which is like the Avenue, or in Staten Island, you're not going to find in Staten Island, hey, I can rent your house for 3 months. You're going to find that in Jersey though. They have so many short-term rentals in Jersey, like so many. There's some that you could do 30-day rentals. Like the Avenue, you could do 30 days. You can do a year. You could do 5 years, right? In the Avenue. There's places that have a 2-month minimum, 60 days. And I'm telling you, when I tell you they're all over the place, they're all over the place. You're not gonna find them in Staten Island unless you're living with like a family member, right? Or you go to like a hotel. But at that point, I would compare the hotel prices for a month stay or a 2-month stay to a rental in New Jersey. But if you're selling in Staten Island and you're moving in Staten Island's more convenient. If those hotel prices are the same, do that. But finding a rental in Staten Island for a short term, 60 days, no. Like I have never seen one. I also don't do any type of rentals or leases, like at all. So I'm definitely not the best person for that. but I do know them in Jersey because I looked them up myself because I did the damn thing here. You know what I mean? So, hi, how are you? Okay, so what happens if an inspection turns up with major issues? So there's two parts to this. If you're selling your house, it's not going to turn up with major issues. You want to know why? Because we're doing a pre-inspection at your listing. We're literally doing. I hate surprises. So if we're listing 123 Main Street, we're doing a pre-inspection. I'm calling either one of my pre-inspectors and they're coming there. And if there is a major issue, you're going to know about it. You're going to either choose to fix it or you're going to choose to disclose it because you're going to have to do either one because they're going to just find it anyway. And then we price accordingly. Okay. Now in Jersey, we have, they're all over the place here, Macy. They're all over in Jersey. There's none in Staten Island. There's hotels in Staten Island and like motels, but there's no short-term rentals. I guess you could stay at a motel or I guess it's like the same thing, but I'm sure the prices are like we have a Hilton in Staten Island. And then there's like a West Shore Inn. And then there's a motel like by the Staten Island, by Brooklyn, like by the Arizona Bridge. So there are a couple different ones there, but as a whole for the short-term rentals, New Jersey has it down pat. Okay, so inspections in Jersey. Now, if you do an inspection in Staten Island, and I'm going to make this super quick. If you do an inspection in Staten Island, you do inspections before contracts. You can back out of the deal. Like, you don't have to move forward at all. I don't care what you agree to. You do not have to move forward because you are not in a binding contract. You could say as is in your offer sheet. You could, say, I'll take it. I don't care what's wrong with it. Great. You have not signed a legally binding contract, which means you can back out if you choose to. Or the homeowner will, take money off or responsibility for it, right? So in Staten Island, it really doesn't matter. Because if you don't get what you want and both parties can't agree, you won't sign a contract. That's where it's different than everywhere else from what I know, the real estate world. Because I have not found any place that works the way we work in Staten Island. I haven't found one. So, except for New York. Other than that, everything else is the way Jersey does it. So, in Jersey, if you sign a contract, and in your contract, there's nothing like the inspection, you don't do any as is or nothing. It's just, I'm giving you $1 million, I'm putting 20% down into inspection and returning, based on inspection and attorney review. Great, you're saved because you have an inspection period in New Jersey that could be 7 to 14 days. Usually we write 7 because it's competitive. Sometimes the attorneys change it to 14 days. But that is just the gist of, that's like the quote unquote time frame. If your inspection shit, you can back out. The only money you lost is the inspection, right? If your language doesn't say, I'm taking it as is or structural, mechanical, environmental. If anything does, and in a competitive market like we're in, structural, mechanical, environmental is what I recommend to do because it saves your butt from anything major. It does not save your butt from a broken blind. It doesn't save your butt from a light bulb that doesn't work, but it saves your butt from anything structural, right? Mechanical and environmental. And those are the major components of a house. If you did structural, mechanical, environmental, and I don't know, all the shades are broken and there's scratches on the floor. First of all, you already saw this before you went in the house, right? We saw it. And anything if there's cosmetic or a window's broken, that doesn't fall into those categories. If that side is like, no, they don't fall into these categories, I don't have to fix it and you still have to buy the house, you still have to buy the house. So you have to just be very careful with your language. That's why I do structural, mechanical, environmental. If you say, I'm taking it as is, I don't care, and you walk into that house, which some agents will advise you to do that. I will never advise you to do that. But again, you are your own person and you can make your own choices, right? I'm just here to advise you. If you waive the entire inspection, but you still do it, and you find there is so many things wrong, and you just bought a money pit, guess who is screwed? You. You're screwed. You are screwed. So again, you have to understand the language in the contract, which, we go over immensely. But I think this is more for people who don't use me, right? Like if you're in California, make sure you understand the language of your contract, right? I don't know California rules, but I just threw one out there. Make sure you understand the rules and the language in your contract about the inspections. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for me right now? I know we're like going through them. How can I manage? somebody did ask. A lot of people do ask, like, how do I manage it? This is so stressful. And my answer, I swear, if you want my simultaneously buying and selling guide, comment the word connect because you'll get it right now. Like, literally, that's the number 10 question I get asked all the time. How the heck do I manage both? This seems so stressful. I have kids. I have a job. I have a dog. I have this. But I get it. I get it. But that's why you're hiring a professional. Guess who juggles that? Guess who handles that? Ding, ding, ding. Me. It's my job. It's why I drink. I'm just kidding. I'm pregnant. I'm drinking water. Like, I'm just... I'm just kidding. So, yes, it's stressful, but that's why you hire an agent. That's why you hire somebody, especially moving from Staten Island to Jersey, who knows both, who has a team that knows both. Because let me tell you, there's different laws. As a lawyer perspective, you want a lawyer who does... And you don't want two different lawyers. You want to know why? Because that's two more people. You want one lawyer who knows both. You get a lawyer that works in Staten Island, a lawyer with actually in New Jersey. They don't know the laws in each. They're going to clash. And it's just two more bodies in the transaction. You don't want a different buyer's agent in New Jersey because that's just another person of communication. You want to alleviate the amount of people and have the smallest, like a small but mighty group of people, okay? That is the best advice I could ever give you for that. And with that being said, I was going to talk about the differences, but we're going to do that. We'll do that next week because I feel like this was long enough. So if nobody has any questions, I hope you have the most amazing day. My name is allisonmireau, Staten Island, broker of Relocate Realty. I'm losing my words. Broker in Staten Island with a dual license in New Jersey. And I help people, and my team helps people every single day in Staten Island buy and sell real estate and sell your homes in Staten Island and make that move to Jersey because I did it myself. So, again, I hope you have an amazing day. And if you are watching this on the replay, comment the word connect for my simultaneously buyer and seller's guide. And that is all the questions that we went over today in this chit chat. But it's like a 40-page book. Like, it's really detailed, but it's fun. It's not boring. Okay, bye. Have an amazing Friday.